So, welcome to Policing TV and our ongoing 12-month dive into the British territories overseas. And I'm very pleased to welcome Robert Muir-Clarke, the Commissioner of the Royal Anguilla Police Force today. So, Robert, first off, brief introduction and how you became the Commissioner there.
I guess, Aine, it was one of those unexpected turns in life. So I joined the RUC back in 1989, went into the regular force in 92. So I'd done quite a period of time there. I was a chief super. It was the rank I'd wanted to attain when I joined the job because of the person who mentored me and helped me get into the police, who I admired greatly and wanted to be like them. And I was fortunate to have achieved that in my career. And I wanted something different. I knew it wanted to be policing, and someone happened to bring this advert for Anguilla to my attention, and I thought, spoke with my wife, and we thought, actually, do you know what, that might be a life opportunity. I applied for it. The sort of the timeline dates had passed, and I basically said to my wife about a week after the deadline was, I'm a bit disappointed. I thought I might have, at least got an interview. And then things happened really quickly. March, got an interview, didn't think I did very well, got a second interview. And then when it went to the third interview with the governor and the premier, I thought this is getting a little bit serious. And 5:20 on the Friday night, got the call to say, you've got the job. And that is one of those big life moments of, okay, talking about it's fine. And conversation with the governor was, well, when would you like me to start? It was as soon as possible. So this is 29th of March, I think, or thereabouts. And it was, can you start on the 1st of May? Yeah, so to move 4,500 miles, one of your stepdaughters is just finishing her first year of A levels. But we decided that we would do it. I moved out here for the first year. Kelly, my wife, she commuted at different parts of the year. We made sure that the youngest girl got through her A levels and she got started to university. And then Kelly came out here last June full time. And is also working out here, and we brought the dogs. So it was a complete lifestyle move for us, but I think for us as a couple and professionally, it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made.
Fabulous. And we're going to touch more on the recruitment side of things later in our chat. You've been there how long now?
About 2.5 years. So yeah.
So would it be possible to say what an average day in the life of a commissioner is these days?
So this professionally is probably the most challenging policing job I have ever had. And I know some of my friends and some of my colleagues think, oh, it's like death in paradise. You'll be wearing your flip-flops and you'll be at the beach most of the day drinking cocktails and all that sort of stuff. It's nothing like that at all. And it's personally and professionally very, very challenging. It's very full on. If I can put it in a way that the risk that you have to manage versus the resource that you have available compared to what you would have in the UK is nothing like anyone's been used to before. I would have thought. And look, I came from a high threat environment, challenging, but if I can put it to you this way, the level of serious crime this year has been really challenging. We have had 10 murders this year. Not all of them gang related, but 10 murders. Put that into context of a force which should have 130 officers, and I currently have 105. You can imagine the difficulties and the challenges that presents around proper and effective investigation, public confidence. So from that point of view, just managing a day job is particularly challenging. The other thing about being the commissioner is, you know, the community and the people on the island see it as a very influential and important role. And you have a very big part to play in the community. And therefore, you know, it is not unusual to start your day very early and finish your day very, very late, simply because of stuff that you have been invited to, or simply because nearly everybody on the island's got your telephone number. And if they're not happy, they're going to ring the commissioner. From a point of view of getting a lot of downtime, there isn't a lot. There really isn't. Now, I love that. I love to be involved with the community and be fully engaged. But when there's a lot going on, your day can be very, very claustrophobic sometimes, almost. You know, I was having the conversation yesterday. We've some colleagues over from the FCDO, and just explaining that sometimes of how you manage the risk. You know, particularly if people have taken you into their confidence and want to tell you something that perhaps has an Article 2 implication. Just how do you manage that? Because it doesn't have the big apparatus of the intelligence world that you would be used to in the UK. So personally, I love it. I absolutely love it, but it is the most challenging professionally thing I have ever done.
Well, thanks. I mean, one of the things you touched on there, the FCDO, I mean, what sort of support do you get from the other territories and I guess the UK into delivering what you need to?
So exceptional, if I can put it like that. If I look at my other colleagues in the territories, you know, when we were at our 8th or 9th murder, you know, it was a case of we are overwhelmed, we need mutual aid. And Cayman stepped up, sent us 10 officers for about 2 months. So I'm very grateful to Commissioner Walton in Cayman for doing that, because without that additional assistance, it would have been much more difficult just to put a lid on what was going on the island. I'll talk about some other types of mutual aid I get from across the Caribbean, but in slightly different ways. But from the FCDO, we couldn't survive or operate as effectively as a force without the assistance that we get from them, whether it's providing technical assistance or software assistance, or in actual fact, people assistance. So I think I currently have about 11 or 12 ex-detectives stroke analysts out here at the moment, and have been out for probably the last 12, 14 months assisting us with serious crime investigation and mentoring the detectives out here in knowledge transfer. So that's a significant investment from the UK to assist us operationally, but to help us develop. And then probably about 14, 15 months ago, we brought out a number of recently retired CTSFOs or ARV type officers to help bolster our tactical unit, to upgrade our tactics, again, to do the knowledge transfer. So significant investment initially from the FCDO and then from the government of Anguilla to extend that to assist us here. So there's been significant financial and technical assistance from the UK. You know, we're moving into a significant period of change. And again, if if you're coming from a UK policing background, you used the 2025 UK laws, policies, and procedures. You know, when I joined the police in 1989 in Northern Ireland, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act had just come in, so I was probably in the first tranche of people getting trained or converted over from the judge's rules. Many of the Caribbean islands and sort of some of the territories still operate on the judge's rules. So again, culturally, you know, that's quite a legal shock when you have to go back to school and start to relearn stuff from a long time ago. Now, we're just in the process of going out to public consultation to introduce a Police and Criminal Evidence Act for Anguilla, which mirrors that which is in Cayman and in Bermuda. And when it comes to assistance, when I first thought about revamping the criminal legislation, I was able to go to Cayman and Bermuda and go, look, what is it you use? And both Kurt and Darren, the commissioner in Bermuda, were able to give advice, send their legislation. Currently, we have I think the deputy director of the DPP and one other member from Bermuda here at the moment, helping out in the AG's chambers. So there's many ways that we can help each other across the Caribbean. And again, you know, the FCDO and the Home Office through IPAS are going to help us in that transition. It's going to be, you know, the most significant transition legally in the history of the force from it was formed, but it's done for the right reasons. It's about public confidence. It's about police professionalism. It's about having 21st century powers that allow us to tackle serious and organised crime. And then the other thing that we've tried to do through the FCDO and through the Home Office, the International Police Assistance Service, is to standardise police firearms trainings and tactics across the Caribbean, because there was differences as to the level and standards that came across each island. And that was very evident when the Caymanian people came to us, that they had been trained more to the UK standard than we were. So I currently am the chair of the British Overseas Territories Firearms Working Group. So through IPAS, we have developed a regional APSTRA. People forgive me, it's the Armed Policing Strategic Threat and Risk Assessment. So we, for the first ever, have developed one for the British Overseas Territories. And each of the territories over this year have developed their own local armed policing strategic threat and risk assessment. We have, I think it was September through to, August through to September, I think it was. We ran an 8-week train-the-trainer course in Bermuda that brought all the firearms stroke tactical instructors up to the same level of intervention for armed policing. So we will start to roll that out across all of the OTs, probably just at the start of next year. That means that when or if we go to Cayman or Montserrat come here, everybody understands the same training and tactics. So actually it's a much safer, more professional working environment. So there's been significant investment from, the UK into the UK overseas territories. And look, I know for a fact Anguilla gets the second highest financial input of all the OTs. I know that for a fact.
Well, so it sounds very much like a community working together, which is fantastic to hear. Robert, thank you. I'm going to just take a stop now, and because we're going to come back and talk more about some of the lighter stories from your time there, and also focus a bit on recruitment and how people who are watching these videos can reach out and maybe part of the Anguilla Royal Anguilla Police Force. So for now, thank you very much, and Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Zane. Really good to talk to you as always.